couldn't find a thread up. Here we go. Don't ask easily Googleable questions. Remember, your audience here can't speak for all men or all women. Remember, you don't speak for all men or all women. Stop asking if your penis is big enough. Go nuts. Sir, I'm a virgin, 28M. Had awful performance anxiety. Still managed to please my only GF with my fingers and oral. She had multiple orgasms every time I spent a night. She was really into but broke up due to lack of closeness because it turned to a distance thing. There was penetration, but no intercourse. Feel like a effing limpy loser. Couldn't stay hard, would see asterisk too quick. She loved me a lot and was very physically attracted. Even met her parents right off the bat, which is weird, still feels like a wasted opportunity. I was hard enough at times, shoulda just manned up and F asterisk ed her. She had a history of sexual asterisk alt and abuse. She'd self-harm and have occasional traumatic flashbacks. It contributed to the pressure I felt. She was kinda p is asterisk either not good in bed, shy about her body, bad at foreplay, stiff and unsure, etc. Not even sure what I'm asking. Like, how can I walk away from this confident? I keep torturing myself because I failed and someone else is probably F asterisking her brains out. I'm too F asterisking old to be taking things slowly. What a mess. I have erections but my sex drive has plummeted. Non-literally the same happened to me, but at 31, I started dating a girl for the first time ever and we'd make out in the car and I couldn't get it up. I went to a neurologist and he put me on 5 milligrams Cialis plus something else, some multivitamin, still nothing. I felt so bad, then I went to therapy and they told me to be honest with her and to go to a place where I could feel very relaxed. I told her and we went to my house. First time we managed to get me a bit hard and I penetrated her and came in seconds. She was on the pill. Next week we tried it again and I bought some sildenafil tabs. We did way better. We got to the point I could do it well enough without pills or anything. Now I also can get hard in the car. Don't torture yourself. It just didn't work out. I also ended up breaking up with this girl. Find yourself a asterisk IRL you can be very comfortable with and it will eventually happen. You still have a lot of time. I have been thinking about killing myself a lot lately. I am a 2-time cancer survivor. It makes me pessimistic and has lowered my sex drive. One was as a child and the other in my early 20s. That's why I started so late. I keep thinking about her because it was almost perfect, too good to be true. I was just trying to be a good boyfriend. Didn't have time to try medication. Don't think I needed it. Just overreacted to a little performance anxiety, like she was enjoying herself a lot. Clearly she never had a decent partner before. But I didn't foo asterisk like a porn star. I know these issues are common in men. We just don't talk about them. I just want more experience. I hope my ex finds peace. It's going to be daunting for a lot of men because of her trauma. Thanks Anon. Wish I had good male role models in my life. Who would win in a fight, a Ferengi or a Tau? Probably a Bompalon. How do I bond with my young daughter? I don't really see her much since I've been busy with work and only recently got a new position that lets me have more time off. I don't feel like we really know each other very well and I want an actual relationship with her. I know it'll sound like an old man asking this, but I guess what's hip with young girls these days. Kind of important to include her age soon. Young can be 3 or 13. 7. Reading to her comes to mind first. Being read to is really beneficial for children's development and it can be a nice bonding ritual that also allows you to share something that interests you with her. You can read her The Hobbit or whatever you have fond memories of yourself. Another benefit of this is that if you make it into a ritual, it won't be a recurring struggle to prioritize one-on-one time. Apart from that, she's probably not yet in the phase where her interests become less cool if her dad likes them, so make good use of that and ask her a lot of questions. Like what she likes about a certain friend, what do they have in common, what do they do together. Let her explain the world of whatever fad series she's into to you. Listening, showing undivided attention and making her feel like an interesting person with knowledge in her own right is more effective than anything else. 7 is also prime age to go to the movies together, visit zoos or parks, stuff like that. Don't ask us, ask her. My dad did this when I was 12 and starting to become a bit distant from my parents. Quote, caught me during breakfast. Mom was out early due to her job, literally sat down and asked what I did in my room for the whole evening. He knew I was playing video games, so I wasn't sure why he bothered asking. I was playing Diablo 2 on my tiny monitor I had gotten after my uncle had upgraded and didn't need the old one. Literally sat next to me for 3 hours watching me play, got himself the game and started playing. Literally learned to set up a LAN network to let us play together. It was legit the best memory I have of my childhood, and all he did was actually sit down and give a asterisk about what I was doing in my free time. OK Cupid tip, block people instead of pressing X, otherwise they will appear again in the future. I offer a GL as asterisk of C asterisk to all of the girls ITT. Thanks M8, I thought I was losing my mind. I saw one literal trap 3 times so far. I only press X when I think I might like the person in the future if she changes. Are you swiping a lot or does your area not have much people on OKC? Wasn't she P is able as a trap? When did you reach the point of actually saying I love you? When I knew they wouldn't just abandon me the moment things got difficult beyond our control. That's a good sign someone actually cares. I always wait until they say it first. My current GF told me she loved me our first time having sex. She says now that she was drunk because it was way too soon. Just wait and see. Females, my wife of over 20 years lost over 120 pounds, going from a morbidly obese 330 pounds to just over 200 now. I am so goddamn proud of her and that she's done what so many others fail at. But the problem is that she looks horrific naked. I don't ever want to have sex with her again. It makes me feel absolutely horrible that I feel this way, but I do. I honestly don't know what to do. I'm not okay with being celebrated, but I can't even maintain an erection with her. She has huge MS S of loose hanging skin. Even where it doesn't look loose, it feels loose. It is like cuddling with a geriatric person when I touch her. What the F*** am I supposed to do? Viagra and Cialis give me splitting headaches that last for 2 days, and honestly I'm not even sure they are enough to keep me hard. Foo king in the dark helps him, but she still feels like an anorexic or a cancer patient to the touch. Honestly, I think she got a bit carried away and I don't know how we are ever going to have a normal relationship again. She only going to look worse if she loses any more weight. The sagging skin would need to be cut by surgery. Have fun with a skin bag of fat. First step would be to talk to her about it. Losing that much weight is an accomplishment, and she deserves congratulations, but getting to that high of a weight is something she might never recover from, naturally. Consider visiting a doctor to see what can be done. I'm just a faceless know-nothing on the internet, but as far as I'm aware, the only solution is surgery. But I could be wrong. Is it an accomplishment? She ate so much that she got fat. And in order to avoid health complications and being alone, she had to lose weight. I really don't get how it's an accomplishment. Is it an accomplishment when I take AS**? Quote, is it an accomplishment? Yes, because unlike a lot of obese people, she realized she had a problem and then took steps to successfully, apparently, fix it. When did we get to a point where a grown-as adult needs praise for doing a mundane thing? Especially for something that she got herself into. Not all obesity is by choice. I got fat because my parents fed me garbage on the regular. Not like kids know any better or able to make their own food. Only just now losing weight in my 20s. Quote, not all kids know any better or able to make their own food. Excuses. There is Google and books at the library. You're right, I should have read a book that magically allows me access to cooking utensils and the stove. So are you telling me you had no stove or cooking utensils? Were you raised by wolves? We did, but I didn't have the ability to get to them, use them because kids are short. By the time I was in my teens, our stove and oven were broken. Not a woman, but quote, she has huge MS S of loose hanging skin. My mom lost a lot of weight, although she was never morbidly obese too, and the loose skin was really noticeable in the beginning when we would go to a pool, but it's gotten much better with time. Obviously she won't look like a model, but I'm as assuming you're both not that young to begin with, and people always look uglier as they age. Surgery is an option, but waiting it out first to see how much her body corrects itself is a better idea, and probably one that would get a better reaction from her. Sir, I tried hitting on the quiet loner guy which comes to my bar sometimes. It was the end of a party and I saw him walk by while I was waiting for my cab with my friend. Quote, hey, you're that guy who always gets a beer brand. What's your name? To which he replied, I've told you my name before. Coffee was left stunned. Granted, my opening wasn't the best and I was a tad tipsy, but off. I'm a good looking girl and I get hounded by dudes more attractive than him all the time. What gives? Some of us guys are loners because we're a bit timid or shy, others are just as holes. I don't care enough to dig through the archives, but I know I saw this situation being described a few days ago, except it was from the side of the quiet loner. The wording W as omething along the lines of the guy saw her in some much larger guy's arms and she was clearly intoxicated, and he was bitter about his advances being ignored previously and how he's talked to her before. Not sure who's rearranging this situation or to what end, but just so you all are aware. I see, thanks. Well, the bastard still hopefully got what she had coming, but in light of new evidence the loner's based status is hereby revoked. Nah, he's still based for rejecting a worthless slut. Probably had Vietnam flashbacks to getting bullied and is asterisk UMED you were just there to toy with him since you're good looking. Or he was having a bad day and didn't want to risk it getting worse. Or maybe he liked the girl, saw her at the dead of night drunken with some third party, and felt hurt by her forgetting his king name. I'd know the way too, in his shoes. I don't care enough to dig through the archives, but I know I saw this situation being described a few days ago, except it was from the side of the acquired loner, the wording W as omething along the lines of the guy saw her in some much larger guy's arms and she was clearly intoxicated, and he was bitter about his advances being ignored previously and how he's talked to her before. Not sure who's rearranging this situation or to what end, but just so you all are aware. Wow, what a shocker, someone is not interested. Listen here, young cricket, not everyone is going to find you attractive and not everyone is going to like you. I don't care enough to dig through the archives, but I know I saw this situation being described a few days ago, except it was from the side of the acquired loner, the wording W as omething along the lines of the guy saw her in some much larger guy's arms and she was clearly intoxicated, and he was bitter about his advances being ignored previously and how he's talked to her before. Not sure who's rearranging this situation or to what end, but just so you all are aware. Based loner dabbing on bar sluts, aside from the fact that you probably deserve the punch to your e-guard, it could just be a defense mechanism he HSOME guys as UME that the only reason a girl would approach them and not ask for something is if she were playing a joke on them, which protects them from making as s out of themselves. I do this too, but I'm just internally suspicious instead of lashing out like AR at someone who might be genuine. I don't care enough to dig through the archives, but I know I saw this situation being described a few days ago, except it was from the side of the acquired loner, the wording W as omething along the lines of the guy saw her in some much larger guy's arms and she was clearly intoxicated, and he was bitter about his advances being ignored previously and how he's talked to her before. Not sure who's rearranging this situation or to what end, but just so you all are aware. Quote, what gives either doesn't handle social situations well or has anger problems, possibly both? Well, that's a tough question, Jenny. This is a real brain twister, but I think I'm going to go with D. He was drunk. Holy F king based. Quote, whoa, why didn't this guy fall on his knees at how gorgeous I am? PFD, you are basically the equivalent of the female nice guy. Just because you are pretty doesn't mean everyone is gonna give you the time and a free P is all the time. I am surprised everybody in the comments to your post is assuming the guy is AD or shy while you forgot his F king name probably within an hour of talking to him before. Learn to be a better human being, because your good looks isn't gonna last forever. Obviously there's a bit of not everyone is into me shock here, but the guy's reaction was ruder sh*. I don't care if she asked his name 5 minutes earlier, a deadpan. You just asked me that, maybe even I'm not going to tell you again would have sufficed. Telling someone to F** off when they're just showing interest is not necessary. You forgetting his name means more than your pretty face. For grills, I once drunk dialed my older sister and told her if I was a girl, I would have been so much prettier that you'd have a complex about it. What was going through her head? He needs to stop drinking. Best advice for spending 11 days at my boyfriend's and parents' house. He works 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. during weekdays. Bit nervous, thank you in advance. Women, hypothetically, if I were your boyfriend, and there was a dude in a group of mutual friends who we were both kind of sure was attempting to flirt with you or get your attention, but in a way that is extremely deniable and not incredibly obvious, how would you want me, your boyfriend, to handle said situation? Just laugh about it and ignore it unless he does something weird? Say something to him. Challenge him to a duel, Alexander Hamilton style. If I was your GF, I would ignore said dude and be all over my BF so the other guy gets the point. That's essentially what happened, but there were still obvious attempts to get her attention and thinly veiled compliments. And this was the first time either of us had met him, and more just trying to figure out what to do in the future if this continues. I could tell from the way she was talking about it that it kind of made her uncomfortable, so I don't want that. Quote, that's essentially what happened, but there were still obvious attempts to get her attention and thinly veiled compliments. Then you need to ride this as hard as you can. Get your GF to blue ball the out of him over a couple of weeks. Then at a party, go into another room, start having sex, and both of you need to make lots of noise. Just break his spirit. I'd like you to ask if I notice first, because I might think I'm imagining it. Then that opens up dialogue on how to handle it. My boyfriend ignores it because he believes I should handle it myself. Of course he does get a bit jealous why does it too much, and he would step in if I'm getting harassed, but otherwise he doesn't get involved. I feel that's the right approach. Ignore it, maybe joke in a very subtle and equally deniable way about it in his presence. Quote, talking with girl, we're playing a game, she's raging that some of the stuff she says is funny AF honestly, say it's cute when she's mad, completely blows up on me, won't reply to my texts or invites anymore and is ignoring me like, I can see why it can be annoying, but is it that bad? Sigh. It might be, because some people might think you'll try to get them mad on purpose because you'd find it entertaining. I had an whole friend that got a kick out of pissing me off when I was in high school, make me never want to associate with him again because of the stupid ass he'd pull. Not saying you would, but hearing the words because I think it's funny when asking someone why they're being a complete D** is grounds for me to pretty much cut all ties with them. Not saying you'll do it, but always consider that's what the other party might think. Makes sense, it W is supposed to be playful, but yeah, I can see how it can be viewed like that. A shame that's how it all ends though, oh well. Girls, I'm 28 and I'm already balding pretty badly. Absolutely awful looking spot on the back of my head and noticing the front end thinning out, too. I've never been very conscious about my body until this. How big of a deal is this? I've also started down the road of fitness a year ago. Should I just focus on getting buff and then do full shave? A bald buff guy's appealing. Well, some women like bald and buff, I'm not one of them. But they exist. I swear girls' minds are dirtier than guys. The amount of sexual jokes my friend has pulled out of innocent commentary I've made is insane. That usually happens only because we are deliberately trying to tease and get a reaction from you. I just take it as a thank God I'm not repulsive, cause no one makes sexual jokes with or about someone they're disgusted by. This seems stupid, but I was talking to a guy on Tinder and he just keeps complimenting me every 2 or 3 replies. Compliment makes me feel like a dog he's praising or a vending machine he's putting praise coins in. I don't want to meet a guy who thinks it's absolutely amazing that I can retain information I've learned. Not exaggerating, I no longer want to meet him. Don't want to ghost either. What's the kindest way to tell him I'm not interested and maybe give him a tip for future reference?